Hello everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Thank you for sponsoring us here on Patreon. I've got some dynamite information and perspective I want to share with you, but I want to start by thanking everybody. I wish I had the time and energy to reach out to everyone, to answer everyone's comments. I'm lucky if I get to read them, but you guys are amazing. Thank you very much. I've got a bit of research here and some reports I want to share with you. And it has to do with where we're going, why we're heading into shit hits the fan. Literally, why it's happening. And it has to do with current events. But I don't think most of the world is looking at it this way. So let's take a look. What the hell am I talking about? I say we're heading into shit hits the fan. I think there is huge diplomatic issues and we've got huge economic issues. We've got national problems and international problems. To start with, the president has his Iran tweet, and this is an excerpt from it in all caps. You will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have suffered before. And it continued on somewhat. Now Trump has taken on North Korea. And the press says, oh, we're not done there. And we're never done with diplomacy, by the way. But the press wants to make that a point. We're not done. It's not wrapped up. It's not for certain. Nothing's for certain. But the president's done what he said. And he chided him on and called him Rocket Man and made fun of Kim Jong-un, but it looks like the denuclearization is in progress. Then Trump went after Syria. He bombed them once, he bombed them twice. Who did he really bomb? Could he have bombed the bad guys who were in Syria, the terrorists, the so-called moderate rebels who liked to cut the heads off of Christians and children? That's right. You know, Trump plays a different game than these politicians. So when he says you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have suffered before, he could be bluffing. He could be telling him the truth. Right? Instead of playing all these ridiculous games with these backhanded deals like Obama did, well, here's billions of dollars and we'll fly it in cash. And you're going to do secret deals with our corporations to make us rich in the U.S. and France and the U.K. Right? They're playing those kind of games with your lives, with my and my family's lives, with our nations. That's the games people like Hillary have been playing. And because they've been playing games and stealing everyone else's money out of the cookie jar and the Social Security jar, and the Treasury. Literally, this term Treasury used to mean something. It used to mean all the gold in Fort Knox. The national treasure. That is the wealth of the nation. Now we're reduced to looking at our national treasure as future reserves of what? Or metals, maybe agriculture. The people themselves have been commoditized or commoditized in the stock market. I am looked at to be so productive, that is, be worth so much in taxes to the government. And they've done that with every human being in the country. The government thinks they own us. They can measure a taxation rate off of us, and that's our value to them. They've played this game for so long that we're broke. And now we have financial and monetary issues to deal with as a result. We have economic issues to deal with as a result. That's why we're going to shit hits the fan. Trump is doing what he can, and he can't stop it. Shit will hit the fan. Whether it's Captain Caveman, Dark Ages type shit, Apocalypse Now, or whether it's shit hits the fan light, which is, well, there went Dallas. It's going to burn for a while, but it'll be back. There goes LA. There goes Chicago. There goes Atlanta. New York, that's not new anymore. Right now it's yuck. Right? It's going to get fucked up when shit hits the fan. Those are going to happen one way or another, either a little or a lot, and it needs to be addressed. You see, we can use the national debt as a fabulous example to say we've been getting in debt as a nation year after year after year. And on top of that, you've got to add all of the interest. Well, us as a people, our economy, our financial system, we have been putting off paying for all of the bad decisions and backroom deals and bullshit that government and politicians and corporations have been doing for decades. Decades. The price that's going to be paid over Iran, or the payback, goes all the way back to the 50s when the Shah of Iran was installed. We're still having problems to this day because they're pissed off at what the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, did under the auspices of United States authority way back then. They're still pissed off, and that price hasn't been paid. Trump is trying to pay it off now. Right? He's trying to pay it off his way. He's done well with North Korea. He's done well with Syria. Right? He's working with Russia. I guess he's a traitor for that. Right? And he's talked with China. He said, hey, look, it's tariff time. It's economic warfare time. It's monetary warfare time. Who can devalue their currency the fastest? Everything's going to hell in a handbasket because the price has to be paid. Reality has to be restored. Now, another look into this comes from a friend of mine named Paul, who's on the East Coast. He's one of those people that managed to get a hold of me, managed to set up a line of communication, and from time to time he shares information with me. I think the information he gives me is far more valuable than the information I give him. But he's in the world of what most people would call garbage. He's in the world of recycling. Now, we kind of giggle, oh yeah, I can. Don't throw that paper in the regular trash, put it in the recycle. When you get to the scale of people who have corporations that deal with recyclables, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is not a game. It is not just a Coke can or a wad of paper. And Paul provides me with information. What are the prices doing? He is part of the research group that I count on to let me know what is going on internationally. If China is refusing to buy our recyclables, our garbage, that they turn back into products, they process, recycle, turn back into useful products, manufacture with them, turn them into useful items, appliances, and then ship them back over here to us and sell them to us. They're taking our garbage, turning it into commodities, and selling it back. Well, yeah, it's an economic system. But what happens when China quits taking things? What happens when we start charging tariffs coming and going? Right? The shit is going the wrong way. Right? The train's going down the wrong set of tracks. It's leading to destruction. So this idea of tariffs, wow, is that going to fix it? No, but it's helping the public become aware of the problems. Now, here's another look at it. This comes through my professional career. Changes coming to recycling service from a company called CNS Waste Solutions. And it talks about how has it changed. Well, until 2018, and I'm reading, the majority of material generated through the recycling programs ended up in China, where it was remanufactured into new products. Hey, sounds like they've been listening to me. This year, China implemented their National Sword program, which changed their import policies to stop accepting certain plastic and paper products. The program also establishes strict new guidelines reducing the acceptable level of contamination from as high as 20% to only 0.5%, 0.5%. So what this National Sword program is about is it's another way to tell the U.S., don't ship us your garbage, only ship us your useful stuff, because we're screwing with them, they're now screwing with us. They don't want our garbage. They just want the useful recyclables. So they've changed the way they do business because we're telling them tariff time. But ultimately, it's going to set things straight, right? If we want a recycling program, great. Right? If you want Head Start, if you want all of these government programs, guess what? They cost money. Cost money. So they've taken trash and turned it into recycling. Then they turn recycling into a multi-billion-dollar business. But it's not free. It's not free. So they say, they ask the question, how does this impact you? C&S Waste Solutions can no longer accept the materials banned by China as part of our recycling program. The materials they collect need to be as clean as possible. So how are they going to fix this? They have to pass the new costs on to the customers. Residential customers are going to pay $2 per month more, right, for a cart. What they're saying is they're going to have to put more people on the garbage recycling line to pull the garbage out of the recyclables. They're going to have to go slower and be more thorough to reduce by a factor of 40 to 1, right? It used to be up to 20%, now it's 0.5%. That's 40 to 1. They've got to reduce 4,000 or 40,000%. It's huge. I don't want to even do the math. It's making my head hurt. But what this is going to do is create more cost. Like I said, we are all going to have to start paying for what has been done. These export companies set up deals with China, and now everyone's pissed off at each other. North Korea is pissed off with us. We're pissed with North Korea. We're pissed off at Syria. Syria's pissed off at us. Trump says you will suffer consequences to Iran. Major threat. What can Iran do to us? Because there's going to be fallout. Trump screwed with China, so China, they punched back. Right? They said, okay, if you want to do that, we're going to stop taking your garbage. Right? We want clean recyclables. It's going to cost you more. And also, thank you to Paul, they're paying us less for it. They're not paying as much. Prices are dropping. Why? Well, the economy's coming down. People aren't buying as much, so they're not manufacturing as much over there. So the prices go up. China is saying also, we're not going to pay you as much for your recyclables. Not just because of the garbage that's included in them, or rather, unusable product. Right? But they're saying, we don't need your shit. We can get recyclables or get our own products. It's an incredible game that we're playing as we unweave and decipher all of the side room and bullshit deals that have gone on. All of this free trade is not free. It's being paid for by someone, and it's going to be you. Oil prices should be a lot higher. This tweet to Iran could say, fine, you want to threaten us that way? No more oil. Cut the spigot. Now, can the world operate without Iran? Sure. It could, but do we want to? Do we want to pay $12 for a gallon of fuel? Do we want to pay $150 to $200 for a barrel of crude oil? Right? When you have prices go up 2, 3, 400%, do you think things are going to be cheaper at the store that are made with your recycled garbage? Right? We're going to have to pay for what's going on. Now, am I going to say this is all Trump's fault? Everything was fine before Trump came along. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. What happened before Trump came along? We nearly got in shit it's the fan over Syria with Russia. We nearly got in World War III with Russia under Obama and all the bullshit games they're playing because they wanted to push a pipeline through Syria and affect largely the European market. The market that Russia's in. And Russia doesn't want that type of interference, so they have an interest in keeping Syria the way it is. Right? So this is a huge commercial game, but it has military and diplomatic and political consequences. Everyone was playing sneaky backroom deals. Right? They go, well, Trump is colluding with Russia, and Russia interfered with the election. Really, it seems like Russia got a lot of our nuclear material, uranium, through the Uranium One deal under the Obama administration with Hillary Clinton at the captain's controls, steering it. Right? Russia got that deal. So where is Putin's, right? Where's his advantage to exposing all this? Well, maybe he didn't think the deal was good. Maybe he got screwed. Right? Maybe the yellow cake uranium he got was actually garbage. Who's he going to complain to? Hey, the secret deal I made with Obama and Hillary, it was bullshit. Give me my money back. Give me my gold back. Give me whatever back. You know, maybe everyone has had it with all these backroom deals and they want shit up front. Maybe a little more honesty would be nice. How about being honest with us, the people, since we're the one who ultimately pay for those finished products, whether it's Chinese electronics or whether it's fuel, right? Whether it's anything, cars and automobiles. Why is it that our oil is pumped out of the ground in the United States of America and sold to other nations, while we import our oil that me and you get to burn from other nations? Wouldn't it make more sense that if we can drill it here and produce it here, we should be able to sell it to ourselves even cheaper? Why is it that major corporations get to make money off of resources that come out of ground, the soil, that is collectively owned by the people, we the people? These are federal lands. And since I pay federal taxes, I think that makes me one of the people who has a stake in the game. But it's not. It's awarded to private corporations who spend their money to explore, and then they get all of the benefits later. But they don't even sell the oil to us. They could still sell the oil to us for a profit. Got no problem with that. But instead they sell it somewhere else. And then we end up buying oil from other places, and we got this huge game. Why? Why? It's all about people and making money and their backroom stupid deals. The American people don't even question where their oil or their fuel comes from as long as they can get it. This deal with Iran, you will suffer consequences. If we end up getting into some sort of pissing match with Iran, which is highly likely, people are going to find out where their oil comes from and why it costs so much. If lines develop because there's a shortage, or if the price goes up, people are going to be squealing like stuck pigs. And that's not a pretty sound, because I've heard a stuck pig. And I'm not going to put one in the video. Changes, this says changes coming to recycling service. This may as well be a federal government paper that says changes are coming to the way you do to the service you get from the government, to the way you do business as Americans. Right? The whole world is going to have to pay for what's been done all of these years. You know, the best that we can hope for is that they expose the wrongdoing, that we clean the system up and learn to trade and do business openly and honestly, and that the people who ultimately pay the bill for all of the consumerism, for all of the capitalism, that we are treated honestly and fairly, and we're not screwed over. Once again, it's supposed to be our nation. Why is it that private corporations and politicians benefit? Why is it that lawyers benefit? Why is it that American healthcare is so expensive compared to other nations? Well, it's because of the legal system. It needs to be cleaned up. Lawyers are the one who benefit, and so all the malpractice insurance, that is, malpractice lawyers, they want to get paid $10,000 an hour, say, billable. Sounds outrageous, but is it? When you see how much they make after trying a case where they successfully fight, right or wrong, to prove that a doctor had some malpractice issues, that price, that cost, is not borne by that doctor. It's borne by the insurance that all doctors pay, and that cost gets passed on to you and me, and that's why our medicine costs so much here. The medicine in other countries, it's just as good or better. That is the treatment they get. So what does that mean? That means the price is being paid. Right? The money's been sucked away from us, the people. We're being screwed over. Obamacare is going to make things affordable. The Affordable Care Act. Affordable for who? Right? When you ask those questions, affordable for who? Change is coming to affect who? Us, the people. One little hiccup, one bubble popping, one domino tipping, and shit is going to hit the fan. They're coming for us. It's coming. Right? This is our chance. I mean, Trump doing this all caps thing to Iran to say, hey, look, the gig is up. You guys have been fucking around a long time. And Iran's going, you guys have been fucking around a long time. Somehow this is going to have to work itself out. Even if it's worked out as amicably as possible, it could still result in economic conditions pushing that domino over and collapsing the system, or rather exposing it for its weaknesses. And remember, you and I are on the hook. So get prepared with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. You've got to have a plan. There is absolutely no fucking excuse for you not having a plan. Even if it's not a good plan. Because I look at my plan and go, right? It's as good as I can do. Sure would be nice if I had some tanks and helicopters. That would make my plan a little better. But I can't have that. It's outside the realm of my resources. And it's that way for everyone. So do the best with what you have. Get prepared. And get prepared, because when shit does hit, there's going to be a lot of bills to be paid. A lot of debt that's going to be called on. Right? And you need to be in a position to protect yourself and your family. And once again, plant the seeds of prepping with other people and say, hey, look, this Iran thing. Right? If Iran says we're not going to sell our oil, what do you think that'll do, right, to prices? What if they embargo us? What if they embargo Europe? You think the Europeans are going to be happy with Trump? What if Trump exposes the dirty shit that Iran's done? Not just says, all the crap you've done, but actually explains what they've done. The world's going to be disgusted with Iran. They need to clean the mess up at that level. Fortunately, someone's doing it rather than kicking the can down the road and putting all of that interest payment in yours and my and our children's and grandchildren's. Soon I could have grandchildren. Putting them in our, right, or putting them against, putting those debts against our bank accounts, our retirement, our wealth. We need a system that's clean, right? So the American dream isn't a sham anymore, because it's a sham. Buy a house and pay back the whole value of it in taxes plus interest over your whole life, and by the time you pay it off, it's worth less because of everything you paid into it. Absolutely ridiculous. Right? Now we're going to find out what the cost of recycling really is. Now we're going to find out what the cost of everything is, because everyone's going to start pulling back because the system is slowing down. It's coming down. The economic system is being exposed for its weaknesses, the financial system for its weaknesses, the monetary system for its weaknesses, our political systems for their weaknesses. On the macro, on the big scale, very weak. And you and I can't do anything about it. But on the micro, our little world, our 10-mile radius, that is where we as individuals can be strong. And we can shed our weaknesses by being prepared for what is coming. Because chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Thank you again for everything, folks, and we'll talk tomorrow. More to come.